A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Respected guest of honor, it's like my elder brother Sushil Batra ji, the CFO of Relaxo Footwear, listed company with this, as the BRSR is applicable in the top 1000. So I was discussing with one of my old friend Ashish that the Relaxo is falling even in the top 500 of the listed companies in the country. So sir, it is your humbleness that you are saying I am from a small mid-sized company, and the way that you addressed, I was just mentioning that it's not that you are not a good speaker. You shared the 5 mantras and how the industry should take this BRSR and what is the role professionals can play. So very well documented by you today in this address, your address. Deen Dayal Agarwal ji, my elder brother, I worked with him in the regional council, and since that I always cherish to have the moments with him. CA Rajinder Arora ji, the young and dynamic speaker specifically on the topic of GST, and all the distinguished participants, colleagues from the industry. As Rajinder Bhai mentioned that yesterday was the day when we discussed about the green hydrogen, electric vehicles, biofuels and so on. So today we are moving little bit from E to the S and G part, that we will be discussing about not only the ESG per se, but also the reporting methodology, that what is coming from the different part of the world on the reporting side of ESG in the shape of a BRSR, or maybe the GRI, or maybe the ISSB, and so on. Friends, as Sushil Batra ji initiated the talk, that the role of professionals, that's whether it is the CSR colleagues who have joined today us from the different companies, or the professionals, it's very important that we should understand that the professionals has to play a very important role in the journey of sustainable earth. Why I am saying so, that you will agree with me. When we are filing the CSR data in our annual report, maybe through the XBRL or otherwise, when we are filing to the MCA and so on. So there is a lot of requirement that somebody should analyze the data and see that whether actually we are paying back to the society or not. And I believe that way the BRSR is emerging out, the way the ESG other concepts are emerging out, the professional has to play a very important role when they will be capturing the data, sharing the data, disseminating the data, and that will actually become a very big decision makers, not only for the regulators, but also for the investment bankers, even the guys who are looking for the sustainable investing per se. So it's not that we are discussing today the luxury, it's a necessity, and that is something that we should be looking into, that yes, what role I can play for the sustainable earth. So it's not our, I will say the right, it's not that our, I will say that okay, oh, it's a burden. No, it's our duty to see that our organizations, wherever we are, that is following the principles in a letter and spirit. So it should not be a greenwashing. So you are aware about the greenwashing means that okay, you are showing something, that okay, I have the ESG compliant, as Sushil Batra ji discussed, that EPS and ESG both will be having the same kind of a value which we are talking about. So it should not be that okay, my numbers should be good. No, it's actually we should see that actually we are achieving the target we are all discussing about. So the full day, as discussed by Rajinder Bhai, that will be discussing the initially I will initiate the what is this ESG all about, what are the developments around the ESG and specifically in India. So what are the parameters where we have to report, what kind of a preparations we have to do, and I will be discussing with you the way forward as well. So it should not be only a theoretical discussion that okay, I came here and with a 44,000 feet I am speaking something, and then you will say, oh, okay, still we have to do. No, I will giving you some kind of a, I will say the homework as well, the task to do, the way forward as well, that okay, what we should do while going back. So take away from this discussion should be there as well. So maybe I will request you, I will share this PPT to each one of you, maybe on a later part, because of the, again, the sustainability, that we should not be printing per se, and then we are saying that, okay, we are discussing about the sustainability. So it should not be that okay, we are printing 10,000 papers and saying that, okay, we will follow the sustainability. It should be that in a real sense. So you have to actually, मैं नॉर्मली बोलता हूँ जब हम एटीट्यूड की बात करते हैं, मोटिवेशन की बात करते हैं कई बार, सो इट शुड नॉट बी दैट ओके वी आर ओनली स्पीकिंग, इट शुड बी यू आर that the whatever you are doing, that should gradually and gradually the behavior should become your character, and the character should become your destiny. So that is something we should be all aspire to inspire. Now my dear friends, as the topic says that we are going to discuss about the BRSR and ESG. I have around 56 minutes time, because after that we will have a speaker who was supposed to visit India, but now he will be delivering the lecture from UK, and will be joining around 11:45, so that we will discuss the international perspective of the BRSR ESG as well. Now friends, first of all we need to discuss this aspect, that whether this ESG is something about the values or the value. So you are aware, in the old days, whenever there was a discussion around the BRR, that is business responsibility reporting, which was a voluntary mechanism introduced by the SEBI in 2011, and even today also, you will agree with me, when you are discussing about the CSR, you feel that, oh, it's like a burden, it's like a compulsion introduced by the government, and it is a duty of the government. So everybody feels that, okay, about the society welfare, about some initiative about the society is not my job. My job is to do a wealth maximization, as Sushil Batra ji discussed and deliberated initially, that we feel, oh, it's my job is a wealth maximization, earn maximum profit. But so it's the duty to maintain the society, duty to maintain the environment is something of the government, and they have to take care of this aspect. So that's why they feel that whenever you are speaking about the BRR, whenever you are speaking about the CSR, it's about the values only. Values means the moral values. So it's about the values only. So okay, no problem, I will take care of my values maybe 10 years down the line. Let me first earn the profit. Let me first do the wealth maximization, and 10 years down the line, certainly I will do as we are doing, that okay, from tomorrow I will go to the morning walk. So हम क्या करते हैं, same way में, that okay, after next month, the new year resolution will be there in the November, that I will start the morning walk. So in the same way, what we are doing, that 10 years down the line, first I will earn the profit, and then I will work for the values in the society. Now, because of this kind of a perception within ourselves, the situation which emerges out, that nobody adopted the BRR, nobody adopted the CSR in the true sense. And then suddenly, a sharp turn taken by the entire ecosystem, that the investors start asking whether your company is really a sustainable company. The investors start asking to the companies, to the corporates, whether your company is a really sustainable organization, whether I should invest in your company or not. If your company is going to die, if your company is going to evaporate in the times to come, say for example, today I am dealing in purely in a oil sector. I am dealing in a purely a sector which is actually emitting so much of environment pollutions per se. Whether tomorrow the government policies will not curb, will not come down to me and say that, okay, sorry, I am not looking into you. For example, you will see that there is a large number of migrations from the city to the industrial zone, that the companies and the organizations, the industries are forced that, okay, you will leave this main city and you have to migrate yourself into a industrial zone which is meant for this kind of a industrial production. Meaning thereby, gradually and gradually, there will be one or the other policy of the regulator or the stakeholder which will force you either to migrate to the more sustainable policies, more sustainable activity, or you please shut down your business. So then, if that will be a situation, whether I will invest in company or not. So what I am looking for from Sushil Batra ji, that Sushil Batra ji, if your organization is not sustainable in the times to come, why I should invest into that? And that actually creates, rather than the values, it start discussing that it will be the value per se as well. So now if it is a value, so when I was saying that 10 years down the line, first I will do what I will do? I will do the wealth maximization, then I will take care of the values. But now it's a matter of money. The money will not flow if I will not be the ESG compliant. My organization is not a sustainable organization. Meaning thereby, there is a direct correlation which getting established that if you want to survive, if you want to get the money, if you want to get the investments, you have to have a sustainable organization. And for that, you have to take the ESG rating, you have to declare a lot of reports, you have to prepare the annual reports, and you have to adopt all the best practices which are related to the sustainability, and then only I will see whether your organization is a sustainable organization or not, and then only I will come for the investment. Take another example. For example, you are looking for a credit exposure from a bank. You are into a negative sector. Say for example, today the real estate sector seems to be in the negative sector for the bankers per se. So what is the rate of interest for them? It's always a higher rate of interest, maybe charged for because of the negative aspect, because of the low, I will say the more and more NPAs. So normal rate of interest, if it is 7%, for them it is 9%. If you will go to the NBFC, they will charge you the 15% or a 14% because of that particular taboo, that particular aspect that, okay, you are falling in the negative sector. The same way, if tomorrow the X company is looking for the investment, or the Y company is looking for the investment, and you have a A+ rating in the sustainability and you have a B+ rating in the sustainability, certainly the cost of fund, the cost of capital will be much higher for you as compared to yourself. So that is something that, okay, we should understand a basic preamble, that why we are discussing this program, why we are organizing this program, why we are all deliberating for the entire day that we have to adopt the sustainability. So it's not purely the values per se, my dear friend, it is now the value as well. So it is not the moral duty per se, it is about the attracting the investment as well. And unless and until there is an investment, there will be a low cost of capital. The wealth maximization which we are looking for will also get vanished with the time, with the advent of time. So my dear friend, now understand that what this value versus values means. As is being given, depicted in the presentation, the governance, there are the three aspects you are aware, that is ESG, the environment, social, and the governance. And if you will connect the value versus the values, if I speak about the values, I will say that the environment and the social have more the values part as compared to the governance, which are directly connected with the value. So it's very, very important that we should understand that in case we have the better aspect, better coverage on the social aspect, there will be the better reputation of the organizations, there will be the less labor conflict, there will be the social impact of the product and services well appreciated by the society, and automatically there will be more acceptability of the organization. Same way, I will not be speaking all these three parts, but you can see from the presentation that there is a unique combination of a value versus values. Now my dear friend, now this is let us pledge, okay, that, okay, we agree with this, that, okay, from tomorrow we will follow the ESG vis-a-vis the BRSR in our organization, because we understand that it is not only the values, but also it is important for the value proposition as well. Now, 2011, the BRR was introduced by the India, and similarly, the large number of jurisdictions started getting some kind of a voluntary reporting on the ESG per se as well. Now, my dear friend, the problem, because there should be a problem statement and then we should work on the solution statement. So what happened that because of the non-availability of the methodology to assess the monetary value. So if you are doing something, आप अगर कुछ अच्छा कर रहे हैं, let us say कि आपके रिलैक्सो के अंदर X amount of greenhouse या X amount of gases was getting emitted. आपने कहा कि ठीक है, आपके यहाँ पे let us say कि मेरा 20x was my emission. I will reduce to 7x. What will be the benefit to me? Why I should do? What will be the direct benefit available to me? Why I should invest the money to reduce from 20x to the 7x? So there was no mechanism even today available that you can monetize that, okay, what will be the benefit of getting reduced, or how I will be able to see that how it will be getting measured as well. So there is a, I will say, the systematic problem is about the how you will be able to do this methodology part. Then there was no standard available. How you will compare the X company, the X industry vis-a-vis the Y industry, the X, even within the same sector, the way you are manufacturing and the way the another is manufacturing is not comparable. So there is no standardization available in the ESG reporting vis-a-vis the BRSR reporting. That's actually also create a problem for the entire system society. That is something that we should work upon. Then, my dear friends, whether the ESG factors really influence the financial positions. सर ने बोला कि EPS और ESG दोनों की रेटिंग और दोनों की वैल्यू जो है वो अगले टाइम पे फैक्टर बनेगी, पर क्या बनेगी, कितनी बनेगी, किस तरीके से बनेगी, स्टिल देयर इज ए लॉट ऑफ इवॉल्वमेंट रिक्वायर्ड अराउंड दिस. तो इस वजह से भी लोगों को लगता है वास्तव में काम करने की जरूरत है क्या, वास्तव में हमें जो है वो इसके ऊपर काम करने की जरूरत है. दैट इज समथिंग दिस ऑलवेज गिव अस, ओ कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है कि ये अपने आप में एक ग्रीन वॉशिंग वाला या एक बबल है, अपने आप में एक साइकोलॉजिकल प्रेशर है कि आपको ये इंप्लीमेंट करना है, बट वेदर देयर इज ए डायरेक्ट कोरिलेशन अवेलेबल vis-a-vis the ESG implementation and the profitability of the organization. Whether there is a direct correlation, the question mark is there. Then the organization feels, as I mentioned you, that it is not my duty, it is the duty of the regulator and the government. Then the data related to ESG, now it's a non-financial data. All the chartered accountant, all the professionals who are sitting here, even the other guys who are belonging to the finance function, how you will be able to measure the data, convert the non-financial data into the financial data. You are preparing the balance sheet as per the IFRS or the Ind AS. How you will capture the gas emissions, how you will capture the waste management into the financial data is again our challenge which everybody has to face in the times to come. And that's why I will be discussing you, and even the Spandan and other colleagues will be discussing you, how the ISSB, the International Sustainability Standard Board, emerged out in the recent past after the COP26 and so, which is going to develop the building block approach through the building block approach, that how you will be able to report the non-financial data into the financial data, into the balance sheets which we are discussing about. So my dear friend, that is something there. Then there is no regulatory requirements. Income tax return file नहीं करते हो, what will happen? There will be a penalty notice. In case GST की return file नहीं करते हो, credit ज़्यादा ले लिया, कम ले लिया, then again there will be a notice from the department. If you are not reporting on ESG or BRR, who cares? So there is no regulatory force that okay you have to report, otherwise there will be a penalty or something like that. And that's why it's always a voluntary means voluntary. वॉलेंट्री मीन्स वॉलेंट्री. डॉक्टर जब तक बोलता नहीं है कि कल 5 किलोमीटर चक्कर लगा के नहीं आए मॉर्निंग वॉक में, तब तक नाश्ता नहीं गिरेगा वरना कुछ हो जाएगा, तब तक तो वॉलेंट्री चलता है साहब, बस कल से ही शुरू करेंगे. सो इट्स अ वॉलेंट्री मीन्स वॉलेंट्री. सो इन केस देयर इज नो डिपार्टमेंट, नो फोर्स फ्रॉम द रेगुलेटर, इट्स ऑलवेज रिमेन वॉलेंट्री. एंड देन द कैपेसिटी ऑफ द फाइनेंस टीम, अगेन द सुशील जी टच अपॉन दैट द कैपेसिटी ऑफ द टीम टू हैंडल द ESG data, to capture the ESG data, to analyze the ESG data and give a decision making based on the ESG data is again a big challenge which the industry is going to face when there will be less capabilities available to understand the ESG aspect. And then the no uniformity. UK will say that I have this standard, India will say that I have this standard. Now how you will be comparing the two different jurisdictions and then taking a decision for the related to your investments? That is something always is again a very, very important challenge. So my dear friend, I discussed with you this problem statement that even if you are agree that it's have a value proposition, there is a lot of challenge which the industry and the entire society is facing when they are migrating towards the ESG. So these will be the challenge. Even when the Sushil ji is getting evaluated that the impact of the ESG on the organization, how they will compare with the industry, the similar industry, how they will be compared with the international jurisdiction, how they will compare with the same sector companies, is again a challenge which every company is going to face, because they will not be able to develop a roadmap in case they don't have the certainty of the problem statement they are facing with. Now, my dear friend, I will not take much of your time onto this preamble part because we have a very less time available. Now, this global initiative, which the Spandan is going to share with you, I am just sharing with you that initially the IFRS Foundation initiated this process, and there were the different standards available globally. That is called the Integrated Reporting Council, the GRI, and finally there was a SASB which was being launched by the CPA USA. Even India, the last year we started with a new board called Sustainability Reporting Standard Board. But I just wish to share with you this IIRC, GRI and SASB. Now all these getting merged into, even the Value Research Foundation, all getting merged into the one board called as International Sustainability Standard Board, under the aegis of the IFRS Foundation, which is going to bring the standard for the ESG vis-a-vis this reporting of the ESG per se. Now I just wish to share with you that now, like the BRSR, the European Commission has also mandated around 50,000 companies, the listed companies over there, has to compulsory report on the BRSR as per their standards. While likewise the UK and likewise the New Zealand and all these countries' jurisdictions are now mandating. So in meaning thereby, in case you are going to list your companies over there, you want to have your offices over there in these countries, you have not only to follow the BRSR of India, but you have to follow the ESG disclosure requirements of that country as well, which is going to get uniformed through the ISSB. So please try to note down this aspect, that initially we are doing a BRSR, they are doing a TCFD, somebody is doing the GRI, but later on everybody has to move to the ISSB standards later or sooner, the moment they will start coming to the society. My dear friends, there is also a movement from the various stock exchanges also, like the Indian Stock Exchange, the BRSR being introduced. I just wish to show you this slide. I'm not, I'm reading this slide just for the benefit of the brevity of the time and the saving the time, that whether it is the Malaysia Stock Exchange or a Budapest or the Panama, every stock exchange is bringing its own guideline to see that how the BRSR is getting reported, meaning thereby the moment you will go out from the Indian Stock Exchange to any other stock exchange, there is a requirement that, okay, you have to report their the local requirement as per their local requirements on the BRSR as well. My dear friends, these are the various tabulatory form that I prepared just for the sake of comparative analysis of the one standard to the another standard. And this is something I will just say to all of you, that the role of the professionals. The role of the professional in this entire BRSR or the ESG concept is something about the data. Unless and until you have the quality of data, you will not be able to develop any kind of reports around the ESG. So even whether it's Relaxo or it is Indian Oil or it is DFCCL or any other organization, NHPC or GAIL, you have to ensure that what kind of a data you are getting into. Unless and until our guys who are looking into this BRSR reporting, the financial statement reporting in the annual report or otherwise as a CSR team, unless and until you have a quality of data, practically I will say it will be only I will not say a greenwashing, I will not say a eyewash, but I will say a similar to that kind of a situation will be there. Again, it's reporting only for the sake of reporting, but unless and until you have a good quality data. So what the standards are talking about today, it's about the validation of the data, and that is something will be the key in the entire discussion. So in case you have a biased data, you have the I will say the not updated data, then there will be the different kind of reports which we are looking into. My dear friends, as we have a session around this sustainability investment as well, I just wish to update you that now in these days, not only in India, but at the global economy, the separate bonds, the separate funds are getting created around this sustainability. I just wish to share with you that the international investment community has created the 6 type of parameters. I will say the factors like a discounted cash flow. You must be aware about the discounted cash flow. आप जानते होंगे discounted cash flow क्या होता है? Okay? So like a discounted cash flow, what they are doing, that they have created the 6 type of factoring data. कि अगर आज रिलैक्सो की बैलेंस शीट के अंदर एक्स अमाउंट का प्रॉफिट है और अगर मान लीजिए मैंने उसमें एक्स फैक्टर लगा दिया, 6 में से एक फैक्टर को मैंने इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिया मल्टीप्लायर की तरह से, जैसे उन्होंने बोला सर ईपीएस और ईजीएस ईएसजी का रैंकिंग, तो आपका क्या होगा कि लेट अस से आपका 500 करोड़ का प्रॉफिट है और अगर मैंने उसके अंदर फैक्टर लगाया और फैक्टर में आपका स्कोर 0.7 है, सो योर प्रॉफिट विल बी ट्रीटेड एज ओनली 350 करोड़, नॉट दी 500 करोड़. And based on that, the industry, the entire society has started launching the specialized sustainable bonds, sustainable funds, and the sustainable mutual funds as well. Now, the sustainable mutual funds, what will they will do? They will only take those companies. Try to understand. They will take only those companies which have the higher ranking as compared to my ranking. Say for example, my ranking is 4, your ranking is 10. तो आपकी कंपनी को म्यूचुअल फंड अडॉप्ट करेगा क्योंकि राजेंद्र अरोड़ा जी ने बोला मैं उसी कंपनी में पैसा लगाऊंगा जिसकी रैंकिंग 10 होगी. सो व्हाट आई विल दीनदयाल जी विल डू, दीनदयाल जी विल लॉन्च अ म्यूचुअल फंड, दीनदयाल जी विल लॉन्च अ फंड वेयर इन ओनली दोज कंपनीज हैविंग द रैंकिंग 10 will be taken as a part, as a portfolio into that mutual fund, and the investor will be more bullish towards investing in those mutual funds which are having the high ranking of the ESG per se. तो क्या होगा कि मेरी कंपनी जिसकी रैंकिंग 4 है, देयर विल नॉट बी एनी बायर फ्रॉम द म्यूचुअल फंड्स, they will not invest in my company, they will not take my company as a portfolio company, and what will happen, I will not be able to get the investments from the mutual fund, meaning thereby I will be having the more cost of capital. आप मेरी बात समझ रहे हैं मैं क्या कह रहा हूं आपसे? And that's why there is a rush that everybody want to be a part of this journey कि मेरा ही कंपनी भी जो है वो म्यूचुअल फंड्स की लिस्ट में हो, सस्टेनेबल फंड्स की लिस्ट में हो, सो दैट आई विल बी एबल टू गेट दी मोर मनी, मोर चीपर मनी, मोर इकोनॉमिकल मनी एज कंपेयर टू द अदरवाइज अवेलेबल ऑन अ हायर रेट बिकॉज ऑफ द रिस्क एसोसिएटेड विद. नाउ माय डियर फ्रेंड, as I discussed with you that the sustainable funds are those funds which are more of a ESG compliant organizations. They will be getting assessed on the investment parameters, and then the ESG bonds, the SBI launched the SBI Magnum Equity ESG funds, the ESG mutual fund. I just wish to share with you that according to a report by the Morningstar last line, that the ESG fund took around 51 billion net flow last year. I'm talking about the 2018, and then in 2019 it doubled, and they are expecting that actually there will be even 10 times growth in the next few years. So what I'm trying to convey you that now the investors will be looking more towards the funds where the sustainability aspect is being captured. Now my dear friend, let us discuss the way forward, because now this is that okay, yes, why it is so important. And now to set the tone, the way forward, that every organization, whether it is X company or it's a Y company, first of all you have to identify. Identify means assessment. That first of all, each and every company has to assess that okay, where I lack, where I am lacking, what is the position, what is the situation, what is the current situation, current state of situation for my company, that where I stand today. So they have to see, they have to compare the global organizations, they have to compare the sector competitor, that where I stand today and what I want to achieve. And then the second step will be the set the goal. Let us say हम लोगों ने बोला, बता रहा था मैं, इज ए hypothetical data that they are emitting the 20x gas, and now they will say that because of the better ESG rating I will set a target कि 5 साल के अंदर इसको 20x को मुझे 2x पे लेके आना है या मुझे 0x पे लेके आना है. So what I am trying to convey you that you have to set a goal, whether it is the E side, whether it is S side, or whether it is the G side. You have to set a goal that okay, what will be my target. मैं एग्जांपल देता हूँ आपको, आपके ऑफिस में भी आप कर सकते हैं और करते होंगे. प्रिंटिंग की बात करते हैं, फोटोकॉपियर की बात करते हैं. हम लोग आज फोटोकॉपी करते हैं साहब, अपने ऑफिस से कमांड दबाई, लेट अस से राजेंद्र जी ने अपने ऑफिस में, ऐसे राजेंद्र जी आपका क्योंकि किसी का कोई बुरा ना मान जाए, तो राजेंद्र जी ने क्या करा कि कमांड लगाई, 400 पेज की नया वो आया था बजट का, नया एक एनालिसिस बन के आया था, बटन दबाया 400 पेज निकल रहे हैं. सेम अब नाउ दिस he can reduce half of this wastage by printing the double side. तो अगर ये बोले कि नहीं जी मेरे को फ्रंट एंड बैक दोनों पे प्रिंट करना है, अल्टीमेटली इनको सिर्फ पढ़ना ही है, ठीक है साहब. तो एक हुआ कि मेरा सेट हो गया गोल कि मेरे को अपने जो पेपर की खपत है वो मुझे लेट अस से कि मैं अगर टोटल मिला के, तो आप सब लोग कर सकते हैं कि टोटल मिला के मान लीजिए सपोज कीजिए कि मैंने 400 रिम मैंने इस साल परचेस किए, सो नेक्स्ट ईयर टारगेट विल बी द 200 रिम्स.
उसके लिए मुझे क्या पॉलिसी बनानी है, उसके दूसरे साल मुझे 100 रिम्स करने हैं, और 3 साल में मुझे क्लाउड पे डेटा शेयर करना है, ना कि मुझे जो है वो कोई भी एक्सचेंज ऑफ पेपर जो है वो हम सारे पेपर स्कैन करके क्लाउड पे मेंटेन करेंगे, जिसको भी देखना है वो डायरेक्टली सर्वर से देखे. सो दिस इज वन वे दैट यू विल हैव दी आइडेंटिफिकेशन एंड देन यू विल हैव अ सेटिंग दी गोल्स. ठीक है साहब. तो ये हमारे लेट अस से वी हैव दी 100 डिफरेंट टाइप्स. आज आप पेपर्स की बात कर रहे हैं, कल वाटर की बात करेंगे. जैसे बत्रा साहब ने कहा कि कितना पानी हम यूज कर रहे हैं, वी नेवर थॉट ऑफ. बट अगेन फॉर दैट यू हैव ए डेटा अवेलेबल, दैट अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ द डेटा, दैट ओके एक्चुअली व्हाट इज योर. सो फर्स्ट इज आइडेंटिफाई, देन द सेट द गोल, थर्ड द क्रिएट अ बजट, अ एस्टिमेट. आपको बजट बनाना पड़ेगा कि यस, अगर मुझे 400 पेपर की जगह 200 पेपर यूज करने हैं, देन आई हैव टू हैव अ बजट ऑन द टेक्नोलॉजी इंप्लीमेंटेशन. तो मुझे उसके लिए एक बजट बनाना होगा, मुझे उसके लिए एक टीम बिल्ड करनी होगी, मुझे उसको डिफाइन करना होगा कि व्हाट मीन्स बाय सक्सेस. अगर मैंने 400 पेपर से 200 पेपर अगर कम कर दिए, 200 पेपर पे आ गया, इट्स विल बी कॉल्ड एज ए सक्सेस. देन 100 पे आ गया, देन इट विल बी अ सेकंड लेवल ऑफ सक्सेस. सो यू हैव टू डिफाइन द सक्सेस एंड देन यू हैव टू प्रमोट. Unless and until you will not promote, you will not get the better ranking, and the better ranking will attract the better investment in your organization. The less cost of capital will be there, and that is something we will be achieving on the part of a value. Values तो अपने आप आ रही हैं, लेकिन अगर value भी जो है that is getting correlated with this kind of a efforts you are initiating with. Now my dear friends, coming to the reporting part, which is the actual real part of the discussion, is about the BRSR recently introduced by the SEBI, and I believe आप लोगों को पहले 30 मिनट्स में लगा होगा कि चलो सुन लेते हैं थोड़ा थोड़ा, पर रियल जो है वो 1 मिनट के लिए हम आए किस लिए कि बता दीजिए क्या रिपोर्ट करना है. तो वो रिपोर्ट बनवा देते हैं ऑफिस में जाके, अपनी टीम को बोल देते हैं कि साहब ये रिपोर्ट बनानी है, कल से ध्यान रखिएगा. सो दैट इज समथिंग. सो एनीवे आई एम गोइंग टू डिस्कस विद यू. सो फ्रेंड्स, एज you are aware that the BRSR, which was introduced last year by the government, by the Security and Exchange Board of India, is based on the 9 principles, and the principles are actually is nothing but the guidelines, that is called as National Guidelines on Responsible Business Conduct, NGRBC. हमारा पूरा का पूरा जो BRSR है, that is depend on these 9 principles. मैं आपको ये 9 प्रिंसिपल्स क्या हैं, इन 9 प्रिंसिपल्स में हमें क्या क्या रिपोर्ट करना है, हमें उसके लिए क्या तैयारी करनी है, मैं आपको जल्दी जल्दी से बताने वाला हूँ. इनमें से कुछ प्रिंसिपल जो हैं, दैट दी प्रिंसिपल, एवरी प्रिंसिपल विल हैव द 2 सेगमेंट. वन इज एसेंशियल एंड अनदर वन इज अ लीडरशिप. लीडरशिप इज अ वॉलंटरी. ओके, एसेंशियल इज मैंडेटरी. सो यू हैव टू इंप्लीमेंट दैट. अनलेस एंड अंटिल यू विल नॉट इंप्लीमेंट दैट, योर रैंकिंग विल बी पुअर. थैंक यू वेरी मच. एंड द लीडरशिप indicators are voluntary initially, that you may implement, you may be later on, may not need, may be later on. As being discussed, the aim is to develop a comparability to help the investor for informed decision. So company X, based on the report you will give, based on the essential factors, the company X will develop, automatically the ranking will get developed for X company and Y company, so that the investor will be taking an informed decision. I will go with the company X because their ranking is better. As you are aware that it is applicable on the 1000 listed companies based on their market capitalization, and you have to compulsory give in your annual report for the 2023, 22-23. तो 1 अप्रैल 2023 को जो आपकी एनुअल रिपोर्ट छपेगी, उसके अंदर ही आपको कंपलसरी देनी होगी. लेकिन अभी आप देखेंगे तो आई विल शेयर विद यू, अनलेस एंड अंटिल यू विल नॉट इंप्लीमेंट फ्रॉम द 1st of April 2022, you will not be able to report in 2023 because there will be a lot of WIP which is there. Then you may already following, some of the companies are already following the GRI standards. So they are saying no problem at all. In case you are following the GRI standard, they are more or less equivalent to the BRSR requirement, so we will accept that as well. And जो डिस्क्लोजर्स हैं वो आपको स्टैंड अलोन एंड कंसोलिडेटेड दोनों के बेसिस पे आपको जो है वो आपको रिपोर्ट करने होंगे. नाउ माय डियर फ्रेंड, I will straight go to the disclosure requirement that BRSR introduced by the government. There is a section A and section B. Section A is nothing but only a general information, so I will also skip. Name, registration office address, nothing to do. These are very small things you can manage at your level. Now, this is section B, which is very, very important. These are the 9 principles I have listed down in the presentation, that these are the 9 principles based on that every organization has to follow the BRSR reporting. So my dear friend, as this principle says, the first principle talk about the organization working with the integrity. The second principle talk about the more and more sustainable goods and services, the well-being of employees, the interest of the stakeholders, promoting human rights, environment, contribution in the public policies, equitable development, and finally the responsibility towards the consumer. So these are the 9 principles. Based on that the entire BRSR is being developed. So before I move to the benefit part of this principle, let me take you each principle one by one. I believe this is visible to all of you, and let me click the principle number 1. तो फ्रेंड्स, अभी जो हमें रिपोर्ट करना है, आई रिक्वेस्ट ऑल द अटेंशन ऑफ माई कोलीग्स फ्रॉम हेयर एज वेल. सर मैं आपकी अटेंशन चाहूँगा. This is principle 1 which every organization has to report. So I will be showing you the 9 slides, 9 Excel files, wherein you have to understand that what this principle is talking about, and then I will do a summary for you as well. मैं आप लोगों के लिए summary भी मैंने बनाया है, that I will share with you, because otherwise how we will be having a takeaway. So the essential factor, as I mentioned you, the one is essential factor, the another is a leadership factor. As I discussed with you in the essential factor, the first principle talk about that the organization, the governance is more with the integrity, ethical, transparent and accountable. And in that they are saying that how much. So the first part is the percentage covered by the training and awareness program. So what the principle is saying, that every organization has to report that how many training programs you organized for the board of director, for the KMPs, for the normal employees other than the KMPs, and for the workers. Employees and workers, employees means, say for example accounts team, and the workers means your factory employees. So for all the 4 segments, how many training programs you have organized in the last 1 year, meaning thereby 1st April 2022 से 31st March 23 तक आपने कितने प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज करे अपने स्टाफ के लिए, अपने एम्प्लॉइज के लिए, अपने वर्कर्स के लिए, अपने केएमपीज के लिए और अपने बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स के लिए. किस चीज पे ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज करने हैं? कोई बताना चाहेगा किस चीज पे प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज करने हैं? नहीं सर, जो ये 9 प्रिंसिपल्स हैं, ESG तो एक बड़ा सब्जेक्ट हो ही गया सर, लेकिन ये 9 प्रिंसिपल्स की ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज होने हैं. सो व्हाट इज दिस 9 प्रिंसिपल्स ऑल अबाउट? So you have to organize the training programs for the directors, for the KMPs, for the employees and for the workers. That what is this all principles all about? मैं इसमें आपको बताना चाहूँगा एग्जाम्पल के लिए क्या. अब वर्कर के लिए प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज करेंगे, वो बोलेंगे क्या बात कर रहे हो भाई साहब, ESG मुझे क्या करना है. लेकिन वर्कर्स के लिए हमारे प्रिंसिपल नंबर, अब अगर हम 3 में जाएंगे या 5 में जाएंगे या 4 में जाएंगे, तो वहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है कि उनको पता होना चाहिए मेरे ह्यूमन राइट्स क्या हैं, मेरे पास स्ट्राइक करने की पावर क्या है, मेरे लिए सेफ एंड इक्विटेबल इन्वायरमेंट का मतलब क्या है, मेरे लिए रिटायरमेंट के बाद मेरी प्लानिंग क्या है. सो ऑल दीज प्रिंसिपल्स आर देयर एंड यू हैव टू ट्रेन देम कि आपके ये राइट्स है. मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं, अगर आपको कोई राइट नहीं मिल रहा हो तो आज भी आप मुझे कह सकते हैं. तो दैट विल कवर द सोशल पार्ट. सो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू कन्वे यू इन द प्रिंसिपल नंबर 1, दैट दी एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, दैट्स व्हाई आई मेंशन यू, इट्स नॉट दैट कि हम 1 साल पहले से आ गए इस प्रोग्राम में गलती से. ये प्रोग्राम तो अप्रैल 23 में होना चाहिए था कि क्या रिपोर्ट करना है. अनलेस एंड अनटिल यू विल नॉट अटेंड यू विल नॉट इनिशिएट इन अप्रैल 2022, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू रिपोर्ट इन द 2023. क्योंकि आप अप्रैल 23 में प्रोग्राम करेंगे तो वो अप्रैल 22 में नहीं काउंट होगा. सो दे आर सेइंग दैट यू हैव टू हाउ मेनी प्रोग्राम्स यू हैव ऑर्गेनाइज्ड. उसके बाद इज आर रूटीन थिंग्स. कोई अगर पेनल्टी, फाइन्स, पनिशमेंट्स अगर किसी ऑफिसर के ऊपर लगी हैं तो तो उसकी वैल्यू हमें दे दीजिए। नॉन मॉनिटरी पेनल्टी लगी है, मॉनिटरी पेनल्टी लगी है, तो उसकी हमें डिटेल दे दीजिए। और उसके बाद जो है किसी के अगेंस्ट में डिसिप्लिनरी एक्शन हुआ है क्या, किसी ऑफिसर के अगेंस्ट में डिसिप्लिनरी एक्शन हुआ किसी रेगुलेटर से, तो उसकी हमें डिटेल दे दीजिए। कोई आपको कंप्लेंट्स आई है कन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट की बोर्ड के लेवल पे, तो उसकी हमें को जो है वो डिटेल दे दीजिए। और उसके बाद जो है लीडरशिप इंडिकेटर, लीडरशिप इंडिकेटर्स क्या हैं, ये आपने अपने लिए नहीं करने हैं, खाली अपनी सप्लाई चेन वालों के लिए भी करने हैं। तो आपके जो भी सप्लाई चेन है, तो मान लीजिए रिलैक्सो है, और रिलैक्सो के जो हैं वो जो मेजर सप्लायर है, मान लीजिए उनका जो है वो मेजर रॉ मटेरियल सप्लायर है, तो खाली ये प्रोग्राम जो है वो हमें अपने बोर्ड के लिए नहीं करने हैं, हमें अपने मेन सप्लायर को भी रिक्वेस्ट करना है, क्योंकि ये मैंडेटरी नहीं है, ये एसेंशियल नहीं है, ये रिकमेंडेटरी हैं लीडरशिप जो इंडिकेटर्स हैं। तो आप उनको कह सकते हैं कि देख लीजिए इस साल नहीं तो अगले साल कम से कम इनको कर लीजिएगा, बट आई एम शेयरिंग विद यू दैट यू शुड ऑर्गेनाइज दिस काइंड ऑफ अ प्रोग्राम्स। सो दिस इज कॉल्ड द प्रिंसिपल नंबर 1. Now, my dear friends, if I go to the principle number 2, that talks about the goods and services are more sustainable and safe. So they are saying आपने R&D के ऊपर कितना खर्चा किया, कैपेक्स खर्चा। अब अप्रैल 23 में तो खर्चा नहीं करेंगे जो अप्रैल 22 में रिपोर्ट होगा, अप्रैल 22 वाला certainly it will be a gone case. So you have to start the capex expenditure to improve the product quality and the safety of the product from April 2022 itself. कि what I should do that the product become more sustainable and safe. एग्जाम्पल की बात कर लेते हैं। आज मैं सपोज कीजिए कि इस पानी की बोटल्स में आप लोगों को जस्ट टू शेयर विद यू दैट टुडे वी आर टेकिंग दिस रियल जूस एंड एवरीथिंग in the plastic bottles, and then there is a Tetra Pak which is coming. Now this plastic bottle is not sustainable, okay, and that's why the companies are moving towards the Tetra Pak. So how much you have invested from moving from a plastic bottle to the Tetra Pak is something they are talking about. the आपने R&D के ऊपर कितना खर्चा किया to make your product more sustainable and safe, and that you have to report. आप अगर बोलते हैं नील खर्चा, तो naturally the ranking will go down, unless and until you will say that okay, my product is already 100% sustainable and safe. Then sustainable sourcing. अब ये sustainable sourcing क्या है, point number 2 पढ़िए. Does the entity have the procedure in place for sustainable sourcing? What does this mean? किसी ने पढ़ा सर ये what is this mean? Sustainable sourcing means सस्टेनेबल सोर्सिंग मीन्स कि आप उन्हीं से सप्लाई लेते हैं जिन्होंने BRSR फॉलो किया, मीनिंग देयर बाय द सप्लायर इज आल्सो कंप्लायंट विद द ESG एंड देन ओनली यू आर बाइंग फ्रॉम देम। और उसके अंदर एक बहुत बड़ी रिक्वायरमेंट है कि आपने जो है वो लोकल जो एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट से कितना सामान परचेज किया, आपने इंडिजीनियस प्रोडक्ट कितना यूज किया। So again there will be a challenge that you have to report, and if yes you have to give a percentage, then you have to understand, you have to not evaluate your organization, you have to evaluate the other organizations as well from whom you are buying. So it's not कि आपको 2B में क्रेडिट आ रहा है या नहीं आ रहा है GST का और आपको क्रेडिट उसके बेसिस पे मिलेगा। अभी आपको सस्टेनेबिलिटी भी देखनी पड़ेगी कि दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज सस्टेनेबिलिटी कंप्लायंट और नॉट। Then they are talking about the waste management, e-waste, hazardous waste and other waste, how you are doing, how you are managing that. And then again the leadership means that you have to see this with your supplier as well. Principle number 3 talks about the well-being of employees, including in the value chain, meaning thereby how many employees are covered under the health insurance, accidental insurance, maternity benefit, paternity benefit, daycare facilities are available or not. Then it is not only for the permanent employees but also for your employees, the workers. And finally the retirement benefits, how much retirement benefits you are giving. So again you have to see that what kind of retirement benefits you are giving or you are not giving. और मैं आपको just to share with you, when I am saying this, it is not the case that okay you will say whatever I will feel I will write. I will correlate this principle with the particular act as well in my later part of discussion, maybe 10 minutes down the line. कि ये नहीं है कि आपने बोला कि मैं रिटायरमेंट बेनिफिट्स, मैंने यहाँ पर कुछ भी लिख दिया. You have to follow the act which is applicable related to the retirement benefits. That is the Industrial Dispute Act or the other act, which I am going to discuss with you. Then the gratuity, PF, ESI, other benefits, accessibility. Say for example, somebody is physically disabled, then how you are giving that kind of a facility. Then the retention rates of the permanent employees that you have to see. And finally, the similar kind of benefits related to the employees, workers in association or unions recognized by the listed entity, whether the detail of training given to employees and workers on the health and safety measures, skill upgradation. So how many training program you organized for the skill upgradation of the employees? And again I will say that it should not be a greenwashing, कि आपने जो आज प्रोग्राम अटेंड किया उसको भी डाल दो, कल जो है वो डिस्कशन हुआ बोर्ड में वो भी डाल दीजिए, और परसों जो है वो अगर कैंटीन के वहाँ पर डिस्कशन हुआ उसको भी डाल दीजिए. इट विल नॉट बी अ स्किल अपग्रेडेशन पर से, इट शुड बी इन अ रियल सेंस. Here it comes the values, more the value. Then the detail of performance and career development reviews of the employees. And finally the health and safety management system. The fourth talks about the stakeholders, that how you are supporting and contributing towards the stakeholders through the social media, marginalized groups, and so on. The fifth one talks about the human rights, that how the human rights training are giving to the employees, to the workers, minimum wages are being provided or not, the remuneration, salary and wages, and finally similarly the complaints received. So you try to understand that they are talking about the point number 6, the number of complaints on the following made by the employees and workers. So how you will, so अगर आप 1 अप्रैल 2023 को बोलेंगे मुझे रिपोर्ट करना है, and you have not captured the complaints for the entire year, how you will say even the no? Unless and until there is a website and the link available that okay, X employee can submit his complaint. So there will be a challenge that how you will not be able to give the data that I offered on my website that this is a complaint section available and I have not received any complaint. There will be a kind of a mechanism available for that. Then my dear friends, same way में the discrimination and the harassment cases, the human rights requirements, and so on. My dear friend, the principle number 6 is the most tedious. They talk about the environment side, that the energy consumptions, then they talk about the turnover vis-a-vis the energy consumption ratio. They talk about the water withdrawal from the surface, surface water, groundwater, third party water. They talk about the various greenhouse gas emissions, and they talk about the various that the last year vis-a-vis this year, and the waste management, how you are doing the waste management last year versus this year. Similarly, the principle number 7 talks about the public policy, principle number 8 talks about the growth and equitable development, and principle 9 talks about the consumers, that how you are taking care of the safety of the consumer safety per se. So what I am trying to convey you, my dear friends, these are the 9 principles which I shared with you, wherein every organization has to report. So क्या होगा हमारे पास, मैं आपको तरीका बता देता हूँ, if somebody has not read right now, ये 9 principles आपको fill in the blanks के रूप में मिलेंगे, आपको ये अपने एनुअल रिपोर्ट में भरने होंगे, और इसकी एक एग्जीक्यूटिव समरी जो है वो आपको BRSR के रूप में आपको जो है वो अपनी एनुअल रिपोर्ट में प्रिंट करनी होगी. So these 9 will be an annexure, and the front there will be a summary. So unless and until you will not fill this, you will not be able to prepare the summary which I am talking about, and that is the exactly the requirements which we have to follow. तो ये हमारे 9 principles हैं. These principles are available in the public domain. So still I will share with you the Excel sheet in case you are looking for, and the PPT as well, so that you can develop your own road map. Friends, अभी जो है वो हम वापस चलते हैं और 9 principles पे वापस जाते हैं और आगे चलते हैं. हमारे को थोड़ा सा what exactly I am trying to discuss with all of you. Now my dear friend, as I discussed with you, just for the sake of repetition, I am again repeating one thing, that it's not only a case of a values, it is a case of a value as well. And rightly the government when issued this BRSR requirement, they develop a business metrics as well. That in case you are following the rule, principle number 1, what will be the benefit to the organization? So it's not only a case that, okay, it is a kind of a burden to you. For example, if you are following the principle number 1, meaning thereby your organization is working with a more integrity and transparency, benefit will be that you will be capturing the new customers. They will have a faith in you. You will be having the good governance practices which will attract the investors. That will be seen as a more valuable organizations. That will attract the more employees and will be able to retain the employees and per se. So for all these 9 principles, there is a business case matrix as well, which is actually trying to influence you. कि आप ऐसा मत समझिए कि ये आपके ऊपर बर्डन है, ये आपको हम लोगों ने एक प्रोग्राम किया, गवर्नमेंट ने लगा दिया, अब ये नहीं कहाँ से प्रॉब्लम आ गई. There is a value proposition into that as well as business case matrix is also being developed. Same way they have developed a social matrix as well, which is aligned with the Niti Aayog paper as well, that in case you are following the principle number 3, 4 and 8, actually you are fulfilling the requirement of the SDG 1. In case you are looking for example, you are looking for a quality education is a principle SDG 4. So sustainable development goals 2030 everyone has to achieve. तो उसका जो SDG 4 है, that talks about the quality education. And in case all the organizations of the country is following the principle number 3, 8 and 9, which talks about the skill upgradation, which talks about the skill set development, which talks about the awareness of the employees and the worker, actually you are taking care of the one part of the SDG 4 as well. तो इसलिए ये नहीं है कि वो केवल बिजनेस केस मैट्रिक्स है, दे आर सेइंग इट्स अ सोशल मैट्रिक्स एज वेल. नाउ माय डियर फ्रेंड, चलिए समझते हैं, और ये है आपके लिए फाइनली 3 या 4 स्लाइड जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है इस डिस्कशन की, और यहां पर बनाया गया है वे फॉरवर्ड. तो हमने इतनी देर आई स्पोक अराउंड 50 मिनट्स, लास्ट 50 मिनट्स विद यू. नाउ दीज 5 मिनट्स आर द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज आई एम गिविंग यू द जिस्ट. मैंने नोट्स बना दिया आपके लिए, आई प्रिपेयर द नोट्स फॉर यू दैट ओके फ्रॉम टुमारो व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, फ्रॉम 1 अप्रैल 2022 व्हाट यू हैव टू डू in your organization. The first one, that the organization has to every company has to organize the awareness program. The first program, awareness program, they have to organize for the KMPs, board members and the employees and worker about the awareness of the 9 principles. What all these 9 principles are. तो आपको अपने अपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में 9 प्रिंसिपल्स पे ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज करने हैं. केवल और केवल केएमपी के लिए नहीं करने हैं, बोर्ड के लिए नहीं करने हैं, हर एक एम्प्लॉइज के लिए करने हैं. एंड दे विल बी 2 मतलब लाइक ए जेनरिक प्रोग्राम, जर्नल प्रोग्राम, नॉट स्पेसिफिक, वेरी स्पेसिफिक, सब्जेक्ट वाइज नहीं होंगे. दे विल बी गिविंग अवेयरनेस व्हाट इज दिस 9 प्रिंसिपल्स ऑल अबाउट. देन फॉर एम्प्लॉइज आपको 3 तरह के प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज करने हैं. एक तो ह्यूमन राइट्स पे, हेल्थ एंड सेफ्टी मेजर्स पे और स्किल अपग्रेडेशंस पे. सो दीज 3 प्रोग्राम्स यू हैव टू ऑर्गेनाइज for the employees and you have to report in the ESG. And finally आपको एक वेबिनार या एक प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज करना है, अपनी वेबसाइट पे कुछ मटेरियल डेवलप करना है और डालना है, दैट इज रिलेटेड टू द सेफ एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबल यूजेस ऑफ योर प्रोडक्ट. मेरी ये प्रोडक्ट है, तो मान लीजिए एग्जांपल की बात है कि रिलैक्सो की बात करते हैं. आपने कहा कि आप जो है वो मेरा से रिलैक्सो, हम लोग सब जानते हैं किस चीज़ से, तो फुटवियर से. तो मेरे फुटवियर का आप सेफ एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबल यूज कैसे कर सकते हैं. तो आपको लिखना है सर जब आपका ये वेस्ट हो जाए तो आपको इसको कैसे डिस्पोज ऑफ करना है. सो यू हैव टू ऑर्गेनाइज दिस प्रोग्राम फॉर द सोसाइटी एट लार्ज सो दैट एवरीबडी इज अवेयर कि अगर फुटवियर को वेस्ट कर रहा हूं तो मुझे उसको ऐसे डिस्पोज ऑफ नहीं कर देना है, फेंक देना है, बिकॉज दैट विल एक्चुअली एक्यूमुलेट द वेस्ट. सो यू हैव टू डू दैट. ओके, हाउ यू विल बी एबल टू, सो यू हैव टू गिव अ ट्रेनिंग टू द सोसाइटी एट लार्ज. सो दीज 3 टाइप के जो हमारे ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स हैं, they should start from the 1st of April 2022 for every company falling under the BRSR requirement. If otherwise भी करते हैं, that's very good. You have to develop the following policies as well. So because I am saying you all the based on the 9 principles. मैंने नो के नो प्रिंसिपल्स में से क्या किया, टेक अवे उठा लिए हैं कि एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को कौन कौन सी चीज़ें करनी पड़ेंगी. So in case you have anti bribery policy, I believe all the organizations right now have, so no issue at all. you have to develop a policy for sustainable sourcing. So you have to devise the new policy that what is sustainable sourcing and how it will be implementing, how we are going to implement this. So for that you have to request your purchase guys कि आपको आगे से ये जो परचेजिंग होगी वो आपको इस तरीके से परचेज करनी पड़ेगी so that I can report I have a sustainable sourcing. Then how the procedure for reclaim product or recycle dispose of, as I discussed with you. आपको पॉलिसी बनानी पड़ेगी कि आपका जितना भी रॉ मटेरियल होता है या फिनिश प्रोडक्ट होता है आप उसको किस तरीके से या तो रिसाइकल करेंगे या आप उसको डिस्पोज ऑफ कैसे करेंगे. इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी पॉलिसी, I believe this will be there in all the organizations, but still in case it is not available. Union, how to form the union. Then committee for address human right issue and its impact on business. So every organization has to develop a committee for human rights. जिनके पास कंप्लेंट्स आएंगी, जिनका रिड्रेसल होगा और वो कमेटी जो है वो रिपोर्ट करेगी कि यस आई हैव कंप्लाइड विद दी ऑल द रिक्वायरमेंट्स. सेम वे जीरो लिक्विड डिस्चार्ज. So how you will be developing this mechanism of a zero liquid discharge, ये अपने को हर एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को बनाना पड़ेगा कि किस तरीके से हम लोगों ने कोई जो है वो जीरो लिक्विड डिस्चार्ज जो है वो हमारे यहाँ से नहीं है. वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट प्रैक्टिसेस क्या है हमारी, वो आपको अपनी वेबसाइट पे डालनी पड़ेगी, एनुअल रिपोर्ट में देनी होगी कि दिस इज माय वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट प्रैक्टिस. तो आप अगर मान लीजिए सपोज कीजिए एक्स कंपनी में है सर, आपका नेचर ऐसा है प्रोडक्ट का, आपका नेचर वाई कंपनी का है, हर एक को अपना अपना वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट का प्रैक्टिसेस अपनी वेबसाइट पे अपनी एनुअल रिपोर्ट में आपको देना होगा, उसका लिंक देना होगा. प्रेफरेंशियल प्रोक्योरमेंट पॉलिसी, दिस इज अबाउट द एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स. आपको बनाना पड़ेगा कि आपकी एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट से आप कौन कौन सी परचेज कर रहे हैं, आपकी क्या पॉलिसी है उनसे परचेज करने की, एंड हाउ मच यू हैव परचेज फ्रॉम दी एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स. दैट इज एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हैज टू डिस्क्लोज. देन द कन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, आपका कोई कन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है क्या, अगर है तो उसकी पॉलिसी क्या है और उसको रिपोर्ट करना होगा ताकि वो हमारी एनुअल रिपोर्ट में आए. Occupation health and the safety management system, again you have to develop, and the policy for cyber security and data privacy. So अभी data privacy bill भी आ रहा है, accordingly we have to develop around that. इसके बाद आपको 4 फ्रेमवर्क भी बनाने हैं सर, वेबसाइट पे 4 फ्रेमवर्क बनाने हैं. कोई क्लिक करेगा, अतुल गुप्ता आपका एम्प्लॉई है, आपको उस पर क्लिक कर सकता है जाके, किस चीज़ के लिए, इफ़ आई हैव एनी ग्रीवेंस रिलेटेड टू दी वर्क प्लेस और द इन्वायरमेंट. अगर मुझे कोई ग्रीवेंस है तो मेरे को पोर्टल पे फैसिलिटी होनी चाहिए, मैं जाऊं क्लिक करूं अपना एम्प्लॉय कोड डालूं, तो आपको जो जो चीज़ें कैप्चर करनी है, एंड सो दैट यू कैन गिव इन अ एनुअल रिपोर्ट यू हैव रिसीव 10 कंप्लेंट्स, वी हैव रिजॉल्व ऑल द 10, सो दैट द सोशल पार्ट यू आर टेकिंग केयर. सेम वे में वर्किंग कंडीशन हेल्थ एंड सेफ्टी को लेके आपको एक उसमें पोर्टल पे डालना पड़ेगा कि हाउ यू आर मेंटेनिंग, हाउ यू आर टेकिंग केयर ऑफ दैट. द थर्ड वन इज अ कम्युनिटी ऑन सोशल इम्पैक्ट. आपको कम्युनिटी का एक सोशल इम्पैक्ट के लिए जो है वो आपको ग्रीवेंस, तो यह सोसाइटी में कोई भी डाल सकता है. तो मान लीजिए एग्जांपल है कि एक्स कंपनी है, आज उसके यहाँ पर कोई भी अगर सोसाइटी को लगता है कि मुझे इससे प्रॉब्लम है, आई एम फेसिंग दिस प्रॉब्लम और दैट प्रॉब्लम, देन यू कैन गिव योर ग्रीवेंस ऑन द पोर्टल विच इज मेड अवेलेबल. एंड देन फाइनली एमिशन ऑफ एयर, गैस, वाटर यूज एंड इलेक्ट्रिसिटी यूज एंड वेस्ट, ये इंटरनल एक आपको बनाना पड़ेगा ताकि जो आपकी प्रोडक्शन टीम है या जो आपके जो दैट द गाइज हु इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दिस ऑल एमिशन कंट्रोल, दे हैव टू गिव अ डेटा ऑन अ मंथली एंड एनुअल बेसिस दैट हाउ मच इज इट वाज लास्ट ईयर एंड हाउ मच इट इज दिस ईयर. तो आपको ये भी मैं बता दूं कि कंपेरेबिलिटी बनाने के लिए यू शुड हैव द डेटा ऑफ द 31st March 2022 एज वेल. Otherwise, how you will be able to compare that, okay, how much you have achieved, and based on that only the ranking will come. So this is something that you have to develop a mechanism. There will be these all the आपको annual report के नए disclosures हैं ये, that the every organization has to give these all disclosures in the annual report. Expenditure incurred on the R&D, that they have to give a percentage of the recycled and reused input material. Safety related incidents, life insurance compensatory package scheme is there or not for the some kind of incidents. Transitional assistance scheme for the retired employees, somebody is getting retired, so what is the scheme available for you, because he has given you 35 years of his life, so what is your plan. Working condition for the differently abled, impact assessment of the project, social impact assessment of the project, rehabilitation, resettlement and the compliance of the environment and related acts. सो ये सारे नए डिस्क्लोजर्स हैं, आप सब समझ लीजिएगा, ये आपको सबको एनुअल रिपोर्ट में ये सारे नए डिस्क्लोजर्स यू हैव टू गिव. लाइकवाइज दीज डिस्क्लोजर्स आर आल्सो रिक्वायर्ड. सो माय डियर फ्रेंड, ये लास्ट स्लाइड है, ये मोर और लेस इट्स अबाउट द लास्ट और मे बी द just 1 or 2 slide, and this is again a very very important slide. All of you are here sitting who are the decision makers. आप CSR से हैं, आप फाइनेंस टीम से हैं, एंड मैंने आपको 9 प्रिंसिपल्स बताए और 9 प्रिंसिपल्स के बाद मैंने आपको टेक अवे दिया. नाउ मैंने आपको बोला कि टेक अवे में आपको ये पॉलिसी बनानी है. हाउ यू विल डेवलप दैट पॉलिसी? यू नीड अ सपोर्ट टू डेवलप दैट पॉलिसी, एंड हु विल सपोर्ट यू? दीज सेक्शंस. तो हर एक प्रिंसिपल के लिए आपको कौन कौन से लॉ पढ़ना है वो भी एक मैट्रिक्स में दिया गया है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू वांट टू डेवलप अ प्रिंसिपल नंबर 1 which talks about the more and more ethical, transparent and the accountable working of the management, तो उसके लिए आपको फैक्ट्रीज एक्ट, कंपनीज एक्ट, प्रिवेंशन ऑफ करप्शन एक्ट, कंपटीशन एक्ट, प्रिवेंशन ऑफ मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग एक्ट, RTI, लोकपाल आयोग, लोक आयुक्त, इंडस्ट्रियल डिस्प्यूट एंड सो ऑन, ये सारे लॉ पढ़ के उनकी रेलेवेंट क्लॉज जो आपकी इसके अंदर जो उसकी रेलेवेंट क्लॉज है वो आपको रेलेवेंट क्लॉज उठा के वो पॉलिसी डॉक्यूमेंट के अंदर पार्ट बनेगी. सो आई बिलीव इट इज क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू how you will be developing the policies. It will not be a case that okay you will start writing the something. You have to refer all these 20 law to develop the policies around the principle number 1. If you want to organize the training programs, it will not be that okay let us discuss the principle number 1 and 60 minutes we are saying principle number 1. You have to showcase that okay what are the various acts applicable, what are the various provisions applicable of the different act on the principle number 1. And that will be the training program you have to organize and report whenever you are giving an annual report. So finally, my dear friends, likewise there are the other acts which are applicable on the principle number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that is something is the actually the foundation. So on this act you will be developing the various policies. Those policies will be available on the website, and then based on that you will be giving an annual report. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This kind of a process you have to follow to develop, to comply with the BRSR, which is not only the value but the values per se. So my dear friend, this is all from my side. I just wish to share with you. Thank you very much. It's exactly 12 o'clock because we have the another speaker who will be joining us from the UK on a live session, and I believe that maybe within 1 or 2 minutes, since they will be migrating, you will have some breathing space available. Otherwise it was like a 1 hour, maybe some bouncers or something, I will say maybe you may have feeling. So friends, this was all related to the BRSR 9 principles, how to report, what to report, and what is the takeaway for this entire discussion. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity and a patient hearing. Thank you.
How much the cost of this maintaining all such standards and reporting them, all those trainings, etc., and waste management, all those things, has any effort been done on this? That how much is the cost in terms of our total revenue?
Azul sir, please.
So just to answer your question, as I discussed that even the adoption of the ESG is not standardized. So how the cost can be? So what is happening is purely based on the organization, based on the sector, and present environment in the organization will depend that how much will be the cost of ultimate adoption of the entire ecosystem. For example, the organizations, as I am just sharing with you because we are dealing with the listed companies. Now in the listed company, some of the disclosure requirements which I shared in my presentations are already available. So there will not be any cost per se for the adoption of them. But at the same time, the companies who are not having that kind of ecosystem, they may have to not only create that ecosystem but also they have to give a lot of training to the employees per se. So it's purely the culture, the organization culture which presently you have vis-a-vis you are aspiring for. So in case you have a culture, there will be an incremental expenditure only. But in case you have to work from a scratch, then certainly there will be. But the point is, sir, that it's not, I will say again, it's not a luxury. Actually, the survival of the fittest, you are aware about this proverb, is something now will be linked with this. that in case we will not be able to showcase to the society that I am a sustainable organization, I am a ESG compliant organization, ultimately the inflow of funds will stop, the consumer acceptability will stop, the attraction from the FIIs and the stock exchange will stop. Then somebody will be able to survive. So whether we like it or not, it's a tomorrow's reality, and we have to adopt. Yes, how we can minimize the cost of adoption, how we can so there should be I will say the efforts by everybody, even by the CSR Research Foundation, even by the ESG Research Foundation or anybody, that we can give a kind of a lot of support to the entire society, even by the Government of India, that at least adoption of these should not be so costly that the cost benefit analysis should be in our favor. So that is something. So I shared with you 3 aspects. Maybe everybody captured that aspect.
Green bond can be issued by the NGO?
Anji?
Green bond can be issued by the NGOs?
Green bonds. So the green bonds, to issue the green bonds, you have to follow certain parameters. So now the NGOs can't per se issue the green bonds, but they can be the instrumental in getting issued by the green bonds. Green bonds has to be issued by, say for example, by the smart cities. So because what will happen, that they will say that it's like a normal bonds which we are issuing for a capital bonds. So you are saying that I am using this money for the green purpose, and for that I will be paying you this less interest. So normal bonds you are issuing for 6%, green bond you will be issuing for 4%. But Rajinder ji, he is passionate about the ecosystem. He will say, okay, I will give the money, because even if it is 4%, because I am a champion of a sustainability, I will give you the money. So you will get actually the money at a lower cost. Like cost of capital will be much lower in case you are either a ESG compliant company, organization, or you are working for the ESG compliance.
Since we have seen many scandals like in corporate governance, like Enron was there, a popular one. So do we have any provision of auditing these ESG parameters? Like will it be auditable, like as you have said that it will be included in annual reports? So this domain of activity will be audited by someone, or if you talk about India, do we have anyone who is auditing that?
I will also request Spandan to answer, but just to share with you, my dear, that right now there is no ecosystem around the ESG for assurance. But this is again a very, very important point which you have touched upon, which we are raising not only from the platform of the ICAI but otherwise as well, that there should be assurance of the ESG compliance as well. Not only on the part that okay, but we shared with you the 9 parameters and something like that, even for the data as well, because that is more important, that you are capturing the data and whether that is authentic data or not. Because what will happen, there is always a worry around the global community for the greenwashing. I used this word twice earlier also, that okay, for the sake of showing that you are a ESG compliant organization and you should get the money, actually there will be I will say that the apprehensions that somebody will do a greenwashing and will showcase that okay, I am a ESG compliant, and then the investor will face the point which you mentioned about. So it's not about only the G now. Normally what is happening, when we are discussing about the going concern, we are concerned with the G part, that is governance part, that okay, the organization is more transparent, integrity, accountability is there or not. But now apart from the S, it is the E which will become a very, very important factor, that unless and until you are not compliant with the E, you are not going to get the money from the market. So assurance is a very important point which I believe will take its place in the near future for this entire ecosystem.